Friday, September 30th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Final day here in the month of September, and we have a lot to talk about. We're going to spend a lot of time in the tropics and talk about some fantastic weekend weather on tap here in the Carolinas. Now, there's a look at your storm report map here over the past 24 hours, and we have had some areas of hail and wind, and also plenty of flooding down toward the Sandhills region, and close to a foot of rain in parts of the Sandhills as we went through Wednesday night into Thursday morning. There's a couple of reports up in Surry County, some hail, some wind with those thunderstorms. Here's the radar over the past couple of hours, and we continue to have these scattered areas of showers and thunderstorms in some spots. Now, look at these mountain temperatures. 40 degrees in Rainbow Springs this morning, Highlands at 41, Brevard at 43. This is a real nice taste of some of the autumn air pulling on into the region. 47 at Jesson Station. And through the northwestern part of the state, you have temperatures there in Beach and Sugar and Banner Elk rather at 50. Bakersfield at 49. So how about that? There's your highs yesterday. It was still pretty warm across the region. Triad area specifically looked like that. Upper 70s to around 80 or so. Charlotte viewing area low to some mid 80s out there yesterday afternoon. There's your 5 o'clock hour temperature. Much, much cooler in the western parts of the state. Still very mild and humid the further east you go. And you can see the difference in the dew point temperatures as well. Much lower dew points to the west, and those are moving on in. That drier air will be taking over in time. Now let's spend some time here and talk about the tropics. Of course, Matthew, our big topic of conversation. Matthew, a strengthening hurricane in the Caribbean Sea. And this has undergone some very rapid intensification here over the past 24 hours. Reconnaissance flight due in this morning, and we'll see if that rapid intensification has continued. But certainly it looks like a much healthier system, and I think even though it's encountering some shear, it's really been battling that off very, very nicely. This is the 5 a.m. advisory, Category 2 hurricane with 100 mile per hour sustained winds, centered about 135 miles north of Curacao, 535 east-southeast of Jamaica. And this is going to probably become a major hurricane over the next 24 hours or so, and generally bend to the northwest as we get toward late in the weekend. So that track will take it very near Jamaica, probably over eastern Cuba, and then into the Bahamas by Tuesday or Wednesday. Again, water temperatures are very, very warm down that way, so the strengthening and the should continue as long as the upper level winds cooperate. And this should stay a very intense hurricane outside of land interaction. Now, where from the Bahamas? There's the various track guidance. And I think everybody in the Carolina coast needs to closely monitor Matthew's progress. Now, some models, including the European, way out here to the east, more toward Bermuda. That's a possibility, but also it's certainly much more possible this could tuck pretty close to the coast. So here are the factors in kind of impacting the eventual track of Matthew. This is the Canadian model. There's your upper level ridge over the northeast, and that kind of shoves Matthew closer to the coast on that particular model, and it kind of splits the difference between Bermuda and the Outer Banks next week. Now, the GFS is tucked even closer to the coast as you get toward the middle sections of next week, and it's really just going to depend on how this hurricane interacts with this ridge to the north and how much it can fight off and plow into that ridge. A few of the specific models here, there is the GFDL taking this to near Jamaica as a pretty intense hurricane, and then from there to southeast Florida. So it's one of the furthest west models. Here's the Hurricane Wharf near Jamaica, and then through the Bahamas thereafter. And we'll also check here the NavGem model, and again it tucks it just east of the Carolina coast toward the middle sections of next week. So it's a close shave, and we're far within the margin of error with this, anywhere from Florida to Bermuda. Those are kind of the uprights for this one, and anywhere between Florida and Bermuda. And of course, that definitely includes the Carolina coast. Needs to closely monitor the system. Let me show you the European again. It's further east with this. This is this morning. There's your big upper level low, and then here we are as you get toward late next week. It's slower with the system, and because of its slower motion, this next trough can pick it up quicker, pick it up more effectively rather, and scoot it further out to sea. So the European is one of the more farther east solutions. All right, back to our weather. And again, I just think everybody needs to closely monitor Matthew's progress up and down the East Coast. All right, this morning there's your scattered showers and thunderstorms that continue to impact parts of the region. For the Charlotte region, once we're past this morning, the shower and thunderstorm threat probably over, especially west of town. But through the Triad and the Triangle region, I think another day with some scattered showers and thunderstorms before the drier air takes over. A couple storms, again, could pack a punch with some damaging winds and some hail. But this drier air is set to win the battle. There it comes, punching in from the west. And that's going to be taking over certainly by tonight as lows drop into the 50s pretty much across the entire region. Tomorrow looks great. Fantastic Saturday weather, maybe a few showers along the coast. That'll be about it. There's your Saturday high temperatures with low humidity. That'll be a great day. Sunday, very much the same. Sunshine, warm afternoon temperatures, but with low humidity. It's going to feel very nice. All right, a few more charts to show you. Here's the GFS representation of lows tonight into tomorrow morning. Again, this is probably a little bit too cool, but I think these 50s are definitely the way to go across the Piedmont zones for low temperatures tonight. All right, let me kind of step you through the GFS model real quick. There's today, here's tomorrow, Sunday looking good, Monday, Tuesday still not going on, but here comes Matthew from the south thereafter. All right, here's the GFS model. This is Wednesday evening. We get a northeasterly flow in this scenario that really cools us down, and we have low 70s probably for highs in the middle of next week, if that's correct. There is Thursday evening, and then there goes Matthew just offshore by Friday morning. There's the wind field associated with it. Let me see if I can scoot that over a little bit for you. There you go. And again, this is just one run of one model. But certainly worth noting that it could tuck pretty close to the coast. And we'll keep you up to date over the next 5 to 6 days. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody have a wonderful weekend and enjoy that great weather. And God bless.